Hello guys, how are you all? Welcome back to my channel. So, today we are gonna see, what if Naruto met female Godzilla in Chunin exam and Harem? And subscribe if you enjoy the video. And also check the description. So let's begin the story. Naruto Uzumaki crashed through another tree, bark exploding around him as he tumbled across the forest floor. Blood trickled from his forehead, mixing with the dirt and sweat coating his face. His orange jumpsuit was torn in a dozen places, revealing angry red welts and deeper cuts beneath. Naruto! Sakura's scream cut through the chaos. He forced himself to his feet, vision swimming. 20 meters away, Sakura was pinned against a massive tree trunk by some kind of chakra technique, her face twisted in terror. Sasuke lay unconscious nearby, a strange mark pulsing on his neck where that snake bastard had bitten him. And between Naruto and his teammates stood the monster wearing human skin. Orochimaru's yellow eyes gleamed with cruel amusement, his two long tongues sliding across his lips. My. The Nine-Tails container, so weak, so pathetic. Did you really think you could challenge me, little boy? Naruto's hands trembled as he formed a cross-shaped seal. Shadow clone. He didn't even see Orochimaru move. One moment the Sannin was 10 meters away, the next his palm was pressed against Naruto's stomach, and the world became pain. The five-pronged seal slammed into Naruto's chakra network like a sledgehammer. He felt the Nine-Tails chakra, his constant companion since birth, suddenly become distant, unreachable. The sealing technique disrupted his access to the fox's power completely. No! Naruto gasped, falling to his knees. He never realized how much he'd unconsciously relied on that chakra, that presence, until it was gone. Without the fox's chakra supplementing your pathetic reserves, you're nothing, Orochimaru hissed, grabbing Naruto by the throat and lifting him off the ground. Just a failure of a shinobi who got lucky being born with a monster in his. The ground shook. Orochimaru paused, yellow eyes narrowing. The tremor came again, stronger this time. Birds erupted from trees across the forest, fleeing in massive flocks. Animals scattered in panic. What? Orochimaru's grip loosened slightly. Naruto felt it then, heat building in his chest. Not the Nine-Tails' familiar burning chakra, but something else. Something ancient and vast, like an ocean of power he'd never known existed, was suddenly pressing against his consciousness. Deep in his mindscape, past the sewer-like corridors where the Nine-Tails was sealed, another seal began to crack. Boom! The tremor was so powerful it knocked Orochimaru back. He released Naruto, who collapsed gasping to the forest floor. Impossible, Orochimaru breathed, taking a step back. His always composed face showed genuine surprise. That seal, it can't be. Naruto pressed his hand to his chest, feeling strange markings burning beneath his jacket. They weren't the spiral seal of the Nine-Tails. These were different, angular, almost like claw marks or ancient kanji he didn't recognize. The Nine-Tails stirred in its cage, and Naruto felt its shock ripple through their connection despite the five-pronged seal. No. That seal should have remained dormant. Boy, what have you done? I didn't do anything. Naruto thought desperately. Your life was in mortal danger. The failsafe. Damn that fourth Hokage. The heat in Naruto's chest became an inferno. He screamed as the seal on his chest erupted in blue-white light, illuminating the darkening forest. The light formed a pillar that shot into the sky, visible for miles. At the Chunin exam tower, Anko Mitarashi froze mid-sentence, her eyes widening as she stared at the distant pillar of light. What the hell is that? The third Hokage rose from his seat in the stadium, his aged face grave. That chakra signature, it can't be. Minato, what did you do? In the forest of death, the pillar of light began to take shape. Naruto watched through pain-blurred eyes as the light condensed, forming a massive silhouette. At first, he thought it was a summoning technique, but no, this was different. The presence pressing down on the area was beyond any summon, beyond even the Nine-Tails' oppressive aura. This was primordial. The light faded, revealing a creature that should not exist in the modern world. She stood nearly 50 meters tall, her form reptilian and powerful. Dark blue scales covered her body, gleaming with an inner light. Rows of jagged, crystalline spines ran down her back, pulsing with that same blue-white energy Naruto had seen. Her tail was thick and powerful, easily crushing trees as it moved. Her arms were muscular, ending in clawed hands that could crush boulders. But it was her face that captured Naruto's attention. Despite the reptilian features, the slight snout, the powerful jaw, there was something almost feminine about her features. Her eyes were the most striking, intelligent, ancient, and filled with an emotion Naruto couldn't identify as they focused directly on him. Those eyes were electric blue with slit pupils, and they regarded him with an intensity that made his breath catch. Titania, the Nine-Tails' voice rumbled in his mind, and for the first time in Naruto's life, he heard genuine fear in the fox's tone. The Alpha Titan? The Queen of Monsters. The massive creature, Titania, took a single step forward, and the entire forest shook. Her gaze hadn't left Naruto, but now it shifted to Orochimaru. The Sannin, to his credit, maintained his composure. A Titan. The fourth Hokage sealed a Titan into his own son. How innovative. Titania's response was a roar that shattered trees and sent shockwaves rippling across the forest. The sound was like nothing Naruto had ever heard, part animal, part force of nature, carrying power that seemed to vibrate in his very bones. Orochimaru's eyes widened. He formed hand seals at blinding speed. Summoning jutsu, 3 massive snakes materialized, each easily 20 meters long. Orochimaru leaped onto one's head. Kill the Titan. I'll retrieve Sasuke. The snakes lunged at female Godzilla with gaping mouths. She didn't even flinch. Her tail whipped around with impossible speed for something so large, striking the first snake and sending it flying into the forest canopy. The second snake managed to wrap around her leg, attempting to constrict. Female Godzilla reached down, grabbed it with one massive clawed hand, and squeezed. The snake screamed cut off as she crushed it, then tossed the body aside like garbage. The third snake tried to strike at her exposed back. Female Godzilla spun faster than any creature her size should be able to move. Her jaws opened, and the crystalline spines on her back began to glow. Energy gathered in her throat, building. Naruto felt the heat from 30 meters away. The atomic breath that erupted from Titania's mouth was devastation incarnate. Blue-white energy tore through the forest in a concentrated beam, vaporizing the third snake instantly. The beam continued past where the snake had been, carving a massive trench through the forest of death, felling ancient trees like grass before a scythe. When the light faded, a smoking scar stretched across the landscape as far as Naruto could see. Impossible, Orochimaru repeated. His composure was cracking now, genuine alarm showing through. He glanced at Sasuke's unconscious form, then at the Titan, calculating. Female Godzilla took a single step toward him. The message was clear, leave. For a long moment, the Sannin stared at the creature, at the impossible force of nature that had appeared from nowhere. Then his eyes shifted to Naruto, still on the ground, and narrowed. Another time, then, Orochimaru said softly. The boy can keep his life today. But Sasuke-kun is mine, mark or no mark. He sank into the ground, vanishing with his signature technique. The moment Orochimaru disappeared, Titania's demeanor changed. The aggressive stance relaxed. Her tail, which had been whipping dangerously, stilled. And those ancient eyes shifted back to Naruto. She approached slowly, each step measured, as if trying not to frighten him. Which was absurd. She was a 50-meter-tall monster that had just vaporized a summon with her breath. Naruto tried to stand, but his legs wouldn't cooperate. The adrenaline was fading, leaving only exhaustion and pain. He watched, transfixed, as the massive Titan lowered herself to a crouch before him, bringing her head down to his level. Up close, her features were even more striking. The scales weren't just blue, they held hints of purple and green, iridescent in the dappled forest light. Her eyes, those incredible eyes, studied him with an intelligence that was completely human despite their inhuman appearance. What? Naruto's voice cracked. What are you? Titania's mouth opened slightly. For a moment, Naruto thought she might unleash another atomic breath at point-blank range. Instead, a sound emerged, a deep, rumbling vocalization that seemed to carry meaning despite not being words. And then she began to shrink. It wasn't gradual. It was like watching a transformation jutsu in reverse. The massive form condensed, scales receding, size decreasing. Light enveloped her for a moment, bright enough that Naruto had to shield his eyes. When he looked again, a woman stood before him. She was tall, easily over 6 feet, with an athletic, powerful build. Her skin held a slight blue tint in certain lights, and Naruto could see small, almost decorative scales along her forearms and collarbone. Her hair was dark blue-black, falling to her waist in thick waves. She wore what appeared to be a form-fitting bodysuit made from the same crystalline material as her spines had been, covering her modestly while leaving her arms and legs partially exposed. But it was still her eyes that dominated her features. Those same electric blue, slit-pupilled eyes, now in a face that was beautiful in a wild, untamed way. Better? Her voice was deep for a woman's, carrying a slight reverberating quality, as if multiple tones were harmonizing. Naruto stared. You can talk. And turn human. And, what the hell is going on? The woman, Titania, tilted her head slightly, an almost predatory gesture. I am Titania, first of the Titans, queen of monsters, alpha of the ancient world. She paused. And I am yours. And mine? Your father sealed my essence within you, just as the Nine Tails resides in your navel seal. She placed a hand on his chest, over where he'd felt the second seal burning. This seal was designed to activate only under specific conditions, when your life was in mortal danger, and you were unable to access the Nine Tails chakra. Naruto's mind reeled. My father, the fourth Hokage, sealed you and me too. Minato Namake's was a wise, if irritating, human. Titania's lips curved in what might have been a smile. He understood that there would be threats even the Nine Tails could not handle. He also understood that I would not tolerate being sealed indefinitely like a common chakra beast. From behind them, Sakura's voice cut through. And Naruto? What's happening? Naruto had almost forgotten about his teammates. Sakura was still pinned against the tree, now staring at female Godzilla with wide, terrified eyes. Female Godzilla glanced at her dismissively. The pink-haired female. She cares for the Uchiha, not you. She's still my teammate, Naruto said, finding his voice. Can you release her? Female Godzilla studied him for a moment, those predatory eyes searching for something. Then she flicked her hand. The chakra binding Sakura dissipated, and the girl collapsed, catching herself on shaking arms. Naruto, what is that thing? Sakura whispered, fear evident in every syllable. My name is Titania, Little Blossom, the Titan woman said, her tone carrying a warning. And I am not a thing. I am the force that shaped this world's oceans and mountains before your kind discovered fire. Naruto struggled to his feet, swaying. Look, I don't understand any of this, but we need to focus. Sasuke is hurt. That bastard Orochimaru bit him with something, and we're still in the middle of the second exam, the Chunin exam. Female Godzilla seemed amused. You concern yourself with children's games when you command a Titan? It's not a game. It's... Naruto trailed off, suddenly feeling foolish. What was a genin exam compared to the creature standing before him? But Titania's expression softened slightly. You have spirit. Good. An alpha must have fire in their heart. She turned her gaze to the forest around them. You need scrolls, yes? To pass this stage, we have an earth scroll. We need a heaven scroll too. Female Godzilla raised her hand. There is a team 1 kilometer northeast. They carry a heaven scroll. They also carry hostile intent toward anyone they encounter. How do you know that? I can sense every heartbeat in this forest. Every breath, every movement. She looked back at him. I can feel their intentions in the rhythm of their blood. They are predators. Then we need to avoid them. We're in no condition to fight, and Sasuke, you misunderstand. Female Godzilla stepped closer to him, and Naruto became very aware of how much taller she was. She loomed over him, not threateningly, but with absolute confidence. I did not suggest we avoid them. I stated they have what you need. Therefore, we will take it. We can't just attack another team. Why not? This is a competition, is it not? The strong take from the weak. That is natural law. That's not. We're not supposed to. Naruto fumbled for words. How did you explain shinobi rules to a prehistoric monster? Female Godzilla studied him intently. Then, to his surprise, she knelt, bringing herself closer to his eye level. You are kind. Soft in some ways. The Nine Tails chose well, you balance each other. She reached out and placed her hand on his shoulder. Even in human form, her strength was evident in that simple touch. But you must learn, little Alpha. The world is cruel to the weak. Your father understood this. That is why he gave you the Nine Tails power. And mine. I don't want to hurt people who don't deserve it. Noble. Her smile was sharp. We will not kill them, then. Simply, persuade them to forfeit their scroll. Before Naruto could argue further, Sakura spoke up from where she was checking on Sasuke. Naruto, Sasuke-kun's fever is getting worse. Whatever that snake bastard did to him, it's spreading. We need to get to the tower, fast. Naruto bit his lip. She was right. Sasuke needed medical attention. And with Orochimaru's technique blocking his Nine Tails chakra, Naruto wasn't in great shape either. Fine, he said finally. But we do it my way. No killing, no serious injuries. Just scare them into giving up the scroll. Titania's smile widened, showing teeth that were slightly too sharp. As my alpha commands, the phrase sent a shiver down Naruto's spine. Why do you keep calling me that? Alpha? Because that is what you are to me. Or what you will become. She stood, towering over him again. The seal your father created does more than simply contain me. It forms a bond. You are my anchor to this world, my connection to the modern age. And I. She paused, as if searching for the right words. I am your protector. Your weapon. Your pack. I don't understand. You will. She glanced toward the northeast. For now, let us claim what is yours by right of strength. Carry your fallen pack mate. The pink-haired one can manage herself. Her name is Sakura, Naruto said firmly. And Sasuke. Use their names. Female Godzilla tilted her head again, that predatory gesture. You defend those who mock you. Curious, they're my teammates. That's what matters. For a long moment, female Godzilla stared at him. Then something shifted in her expression. Respect, perhaps, or at least acknowledgement. Very well. Sakura and Sasuke. I will remember. She moved to Sasuke's unconscious form and, with shocking gentleness for someone who just crushed a giant snake, lifted him and placed him on Naruto's back. The Uchiha was barely conscious, mumbling incoherently. Can you walk, little blossom? Female Godzilla asked Sakura. Sakura nodded shakily, still eyeing the Titan woman with fear. Why yes, then follow. Stay close. This forest contains many predators. I would hate for my alpha's packmates to be harmed. She set off through the trees with purposeful strides. Naruto and Sakura exchanged glances, his bewildered, hers terrified, before following. As they walked, Naruto couldn't help but study Titania. She moved through the forest like she owned it, which, based on what he'd seen, she basically did. Animals fled before her presence. Even the insects seemed to part around her. Boy, the Nine Tails' voice rumbled in his mind, weaker than usual due to the five-pronged seal but still present. We need to talk about what you've unleashed. Not now, Fox. I'm trying to process. The Titans were sealed away for a reason. They are forces of nature given will and form. Female Godzilla is the strongest of them, the Alpha, as she calls herself. If she has bonded with you. What? What does it mean? The Nine Tails was silent for a moment. It means your life just became infinitely more complicated. The Titans don't do anything halfway. If she has claimed you as her alpha, her pack leader, she will not tolerate threats to you. At all. Is that so bad? She saved my life. She also casually obliterated 3 A-rank summons, and nearly destroyed half the forest. The power you now have access to could level nations. Every village will want to either control you or kill you once they learn of this. The weight of that statement settled over Naruto like a physical thing. We're here, female Godzilla announced, stopping at the edge of a clearing. Ahead, 3 sound ninja were setting up camp. Naruto recognized the type, older genin, probably on their 2nd or 3rd attempt at the exams. They looked competent and dangerous. I will handle this, female Godzilla said calmly. Wait, I said. She was already walking into the clearing. The sound ninja noticed immediately, springing to their feet with weapons drawn. The leader, A tall man with bandages covering half his face called out. Who the hell are you? Female Godzilla stopped in the center of the clearing. I am Titania. You have something my alpha requires. Your alpha? The leader laughed. Listen, lady, I don't know what you're on, but Titania's eyes began to glow. It was subtle at first, just a brightening of that electric blue. But then the glow intensified, casting light across the clearing. The temperature rose noticeably. The sound ninja stepped back. What the? You will surrender your heaven scroll, female Godzilla said, her voice deepening, taking on that multitonal quality. Or I will take it from you. Choose quickly. One of the other sound ninja, a woman with purple hair, laughed nervously. 3-on-1, sweetheart. I like our odds. Female Godzilla smiled. Very well. She didn't transform fully. She didn't need to. Her body shifted partially, scales rippling across her skin, her hands growing claws. Her spines began to emerge from her back, glowing with building energy. The temperature in the clearing became oppressive. Last chance, she said, and her voice was now fully the Titan's, reverberating through the air like distant thunder. The bandaged leader's face had gone pale. Whatever he'd sensed, whatever instinct had kept him alive through multiple Chunin exams, was screaming at him now. Take it, he said, reaching into his pouch with shaking hands. Just take the damn scroll and leave. He threw the scroll to Titania's feet, then gestured to his teammates. We're gone. They vanished into the trees with impressive speed. Titania's form reverted to fully human. She picked up the scroll, examined it briefly, then walked back to where Naruto and Sakura stood hidden. That was... Naruto struggled for words. Efficient, female Godzilla finished. No blood spilled. No deaths. They will live to attempt the exams again, wiser for this encounter. She handed him the scroll. Your way, as you commanded, Sakura found her voice. That was terrifying. You're terrifying, yes. Female Godzilla didn't seem bothered by this assessment. Fear is a tool, little blossom. Better they fear me and flee than fight and die. She's right, Naruto admitted reluctantly. You didn't hurt them. Just scared them straight. Because you asked me not to harm them. Female Godzilla looked at him intently. I would have crushed them if you had commanded it. Or if they had threatened you. But you showed mercy, so I showed mercy. That is how our bond works, Naruto Uzumaki. It was the first time she'd used his full name. The tower is 3 kilometers south, she continued. We should arrive within the hour. The Uchiha's condition is stable but deteriorating. He needs proper medical attention. They set off again, this time in silence. Naruto's mind whirled with implications. A titan. He had a literal titan sealed inside him, on top of the 9 tails. And not just any titan, the queen of them. What did that mean for his dream of becoming Hokage? Would the village accept him? Would they fear him? Try to control him? And female Godzilla herself, she was powerful, clearly dangerous, but also oddly protective. The way she looked at him wasn't quite like how anyone else did. There was possessiveness there, yes, but also something else. Pride? Affection? Titania, he said after a while. Why did my dad seal you in me? Really? She was quiet for several steps. Minato Namikaze came to me 17 years ago. I was imprisoned beneath what you call the Valley of the End, in a seal created by the Sage of 6 Paths himself. Her expression darkened at the memory. Your father offered me a bargain. I would serve as a failsafe for his son, a final protection against threats that might seek to use you, control you, or kill you. In exchange, I would be freed from my prison, allowed to exist in the modern world through our bond. But why me specifically? Because you were to be the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Minato knew that burden would make you a target. He also knew. She glanced at him, that you would need more than just the fox's power. He saw the future more clearly than most. Wars were coming. Organizations that hunt Jinchuriki, forces that threaten the balance of this world. He wanted you to survive, no matter what. Naruto felt a lump in his throat. His father, who he'd never known, had gone to such lengths to protect him. He also understood my nature, female Godzilla continued. Titans bond with those we recognize as worthy. We seek out strength, potential, the spark of dominance that marks a true alpha. Your father believed you would grow into such a person. I was skeptical. Until today. What changed? She stopped walking and turned to face him fully. You stood against Orochimaru, hopeless and outmatched, knowing you would die, but unwilling to let him harm your pack. You put yourself between death and those who barely acknowledge your worth. That is alpha behavior. That is what earned my respect. They're my friends, Naruto said simply. Teammates. I'd die for any of them. I know. Female Godzilla reached out and touched his face. A surprisingly gentle gesture from someone so powerful. That is why I chose to accept you as my alpha. Not because your father sealed me, not because you host the Nine Tails, but because you have the heart of a true leader. You will grow strong, Naruto Uzumaki, and I will ensure you survive long enough to reach that strength. Her hand dropped. Now come. The tower awaits, and I grow weary of this forest. They walked in silence after that, each lost in thought. Behind them, Sakura carried their scrolls, her mind racing. What she'd witnessed today would change everything. Naruto, goofy, loud, annoying Naruto, commanded a monster that could level cities, and the way that creature looked at him. Sakura had seen enough to recognize it, even if she didn't fully understand it yet. Devotion. When they finally emerged at the tower, the sun was setting, painting the sky in shades of orange and red. Several other teams had already arrived, and the shinobi monitoring the entrance stared in shock as Naruto's group appeared. Team 7, Anko Mitarashi called out, stepping forward. Her eyes immediately locked onto Titania. And who the hell is this? Female Godzilla met the proctor's gaze without flinching. I am Titania. I am with Naruto Uzumaki. This isn't a team of 4, Anko said, hand moving toward her kunai. She's not part of our team, Naruto said quickly. It's complicated. We need to get Sasuke to medical. Now, Anko looked between Naruto, the unconscious Uchiha, and the strange woman who radiated danger like heat from a forge. You're coming with me. All of you. We need to debrief what happened in that forest. Of course, female Godzilla said smoothly. We have much to discuss, Special Jonin Mitarashi. Particularly about the encounter with the Sannin Orochimaru. Anko's expression became deadly serious. Orochimaru was in the forest? Female Godzilla confirmed. I encouraged him to leave. Several Jonin had gathered now, alerted by Anko's tone. Naruto recognized Kakashi-sensei among them, his visible eye wide with shock. Naruto, Kakashi said carefully, what happened out there? Naruto took a deep breath. How did you explain that you had a prehistoric titan sealed inside you? That she'd manifested to fight one of the legendary Sannin? That she'd claimed him as her alpha and seemed determined to protect him from all threats? It's a long story, Sensei, he finally said. A really, really long story. Female Godzilla placed a hand on his shoulder. One that involves forces older than your village. Older than your civilization. Her eyes swept across the gathered Jonin, challenging any of them to deny her right to be there. Forces that now stand with Naruto Uzumaki. The Jonin exchanged worried glances. In the distance, Naruto could sense the Nine Tails laughing darkly in its cage. Welcome to your new life, Kit. Nothing will ever be simple again. As Medical Ninja rushed to take Sasuke and check the rest of the team, as Jonin formed a protective perimeter around them, as questions began to fly from all directions, Naruto looked up at Titania. She looked back down at him with those ancient, electric blue eyes and smiled. A smile that promised protection, power, and complications beyond anything he'd ever imagined. His life had just changed forever. And somehow, Naruto suspected this was only the beginning. The interrogation room was designed to be intimidating. Bare walls, a single light hanging from the ceiling, metal chairs bolted to the floor. It had probably worked on countless Genin and Chunin over the years. Female Godzilla looked utterly bored. She sat with perfect posture in a chair that seemed too small for her frame, examining her nails with mild interest. Across from her, Ibiki Marino, Konoha's head of interrogation, was sweating despite his fearsome reputation. Let's go through this again, Ibiki said, his scarred face impassive. Your name, Titania. I've answered this 17 times now. Your origin. I am the first Titan born when this world was young and humanity had yet to crawl from the oceans. She glanced up, electric blue eyes meeting his. I existed before your ancestors discovered fire. Is this really productive use of our time? In the observation room next door, Naruto sat between Kakashi and the third Hokage, watching through a one-way mirror. The Hokage hadn't said much since the debriefing began 3 hours ago, just smoked his pipe and studied female Godzilla with ancient, calculating eyes. She's not lying, the Hokage said quietly. At least, not according to Inoichi. Inoichi Yamanaka stood nearby, looking frustrated. I can't read her mind, Hokage-sama. When I try, it's like diving into an ocean. There's too much there, too deep, too vast. Centuries of memories, maybe millennia. And something pushes back against my technique. She doesn't like people poking around in her head, Naruto said. He could feel it through their bond, a distant irritation like static electricity. Can we please stop this? She saved my life. She drove off Orochimaru. Isn't that enough? Naruto, Kakashi said carefully, we're trying to understand what exactly has been sealed inside you. For your safety as much as anyone's. The Nine Tails was sealed in me and nobody interrogated it for hours. The Nine Tails is a known quantity, the Hokage said. Female Godzilla is not. According to the historical records Jiraiya has been frantically searching through, the Titans were sealed away by the Sage of Six Paths himself over 1,000 years ago. They were considered too dangerous to exist freely. She hasn't hurt anyone. Not yet, Kakashi said quietly. But Naruto, you saw what she did to those summons. That level of power, it's concerning. Through the window, Titania's head turned. Despite the one-way glass, her eyes found Naruto's position exactly. She smiled slightly, then returned her attention to Ibiki. She knows we're here, Inoichi breathed. Through multiple layers of chakra suppression and sensory barriers. Impossible. Not for a Titan, the Hokage said. He stood, joints popping. This is getting us nowhere. Naruto, come with me. We're going to have a different conversation. Minutes later, Naruto found himself in the interrogation room with female Godzilla while the others watched from the observation room. The moment he entered, Titania's entire demeanor changed. The boredom vanished, replaced by focused attention. My alpha, she said warmly. These people are tedious. They're worried. You can't blame them. I can and do. She gestured to the chair across from her. Sit. You look exhausted. He was. The adrenaline had worn off hours ago, leaving him running on fumes. The five-pronged seal was still blocking most of his Nine Tails chakra, making him feel hollow and weak. That seal on your stomach, female Godzilla said, noticing his wince as he sat. It's disrupting your connection to the Nine Tails. An elegant technique, I admit, but troublesome. Would you like me to remove it? You can do that? I am older than the concept of sealing techniques, little alpha. Yes, I can remove it. She paused. With your permission. The fact that she asked surprised him. Okay. Please. Female Godzilla rose and moved behind him. She placed one hand on his shoulder, the other on his stomach where the seal was. Her touch was warm. No, hot. Like pressing against sun-heated stone. This may feel strange, she warned. Energy flowed from her hand into his body. It was nothing like the Nine Tails burning chakra. This was older, more primal, like the heat from volcanic vents or the pressure of deep ocean water. It pressed against the five-pronged seal, not breaking it so much as dissolving it. The seal unraveled, and suddenly the Nine Tails chakra came rushing back. Naruto gasped as the familiar presence returned to full strength. Finally, the Nine Tails growled. That was irritating. Better? Female Godzilla asked, returning to her seat. Yeah. Thanks. Naruto felt whole again, the constant background hum of the fox's chakra a comfort he hadn't realized he'd missed. Titania, what exactly is our bond? You keep calling me your alpha. But what does that actually mean? She leaned back, considering her words. When your father sealed me, he created a connection between us. Think of it as a pack bond. In the ancient world, Titans were solitary creatures, but we understood hierarchy. The strongest among us was the alpha, the one others would follow, the one who set the rules. But I'm not strong. Not like you. Not yet, she agreed. But you have potential. The nine tails within you, your heritage as an Uzumaki, your father's genius, your mother's vitality, all of these things combine to create someone who could become extraordinarily powerful. I sense it in you like a dormant volcano. When you erupt, little Alpha, you will shake the world. Naruto felt his cheeks heat. That's a lot to live up to. You already are. Titania's expression softened. You stood against Orochimaru knowing you would die. That takes a strength beyond mere chakra. That is alpha behavior. Protecting the pack even at cost to yourself. Is that why you're being so protective? Partially. The bond compels me to ensure your safety. But it's more than compulsion. She leaned forward, elbows on her knees, studying him intently. I have existed for millennia, Naruto Uzumaki. I have seen civilizations rise and fall. I have watched humanity grow from primitive tribes to complex societies. In all that time, I have met perhaps 3 humans I considered worthy of genuine respect. And I'm one of them? You have the potential to be. Whether you achieve it depends on choices you make going forward. She smiled, showing those slightly too sharp teeth. But I believe you will. The Nine Tails chose you. I have chosen you. That is not coincidence. She's not wrong, Kit, the Nine Tails rumbled. Though it pains me to admit it. You have something most don't. A will that refuses to break. That's why your father sealed me in you. That's why female Godzilla accepted the bond. The door opened before Naruto could respond. The third Hokage entered, followed by Kakashi and, surprisingly, Jiraiya. The white-haired Sannin looked disheveled, as if he'd been running all over the village. Naruto, Titania, the Hokage greeted them. Jiraiya has information. Jiraiya pulled up a chair, produced the scroll, and unrolled it on the table. It showed a complex seal pattern Naruto didn't recognize. This is the seal Minato created to contain Titania. It's based on the Sage of Six Paths' original work, but modified extensively. The fourth was talented, female Godzilla observed. I'll grant him that. The seal has several layers, Jiraiya continued, pointing to different sections. The outer layer is containment. It holds your essence. But look here, and here. These are bond markers. Minato didn't just seal you away, he created a symbiotic relationship between you and Naruto. I am aware, female Godzilla said dryly. Did you know that the seal is designed to grow with Naruto? Jiraiya looked at her seriously. As he becomes stronger, you become more able to manifest. Right now, you can maintain your human form indefinitely, and your Titan form for perhaps 30 minutes. But when Naruto reaches Jonin level, Kage level, you'll be able to manifest your full power without limitation. Interesting. Titania's eyes gleamed. Minato thought of everything. He also included failsafes, the Hokage said. Naruto can seal you back if necessary. You cannot directly harm him through the bond. And your presence cannot corrupt or influence him against his will. As it should be, female Godzilla agreed. I have no desire to control my alpha. That defeats the purpose of having one. Which brings us to the real question, the Hokage said, his gaze sharpening. What are your intentions, Titania? You are free to manifest in the modern world through this bond. What will you do with that freedom? Female Godzilla stood, and even though she was in human form, her presence seemed to expand, filling the room. My intentions are simple, Hokage. I will protect my alpha. I will grow stronger as he grows stronger. And when threats arise that would harm him or his pack, I will obliterate them. Define pack, Kakashi said, those Naruto chooses to protect. His precious people. She glanced at Naruto. Your sensei, for instance. The copy ninja Kakashi Hatake. My alpha values you, therefore I will not allow harm to befall you if I can prevent it. And if Naruto's goals conflict with Konoha's interests? The Hokage pressed. Then Konoha's interests are irrelevant to me. Titania's voice was flat, matter-of-fact. I serve my alpha, not your village. If you are wise, you will ensure those interests never conflict. The temperature in the room seemed to drop. Jiraiya's hand moved subtly toward a seal on his wrist. Kakashi's visible eye narrowed. Wait! Naruto stood up. Titania, that's not how this works. I'm a Konoha shinobi. The village is my home. My dream is to become Hokage someday. To be acknowledged and protect everyone here. You're part of that now. Female Godzilla turned to him, head tilted. So you wish me to serve your village? I wish you to understand that protecting me means protecting what I care about. And I care about Konoha. For a long moment, she was silent. Then her expression shifted to something almost amused. I see. Very well, my alpha. Because you care for this village, I will not allow it to fall. Because your dream is to lead it, I will ensure you survive to achieve that dream. But understand, my loyalty is to you, not to nations or ideologies. If this village threatens you, my protection ends. Fair enough, the Hokage said, surprising everyone. He chuckled at their expressions. What? She's being honest about her priorities. That's more than most powerful entities give us. At least we know where we stand. You're accepting this? Kakashi asked. Do I have a choice? She's bonded to Naruto through a seal created by the fourth Hokage himself. We can't break it without potentially killing Naruto. And honestly, the Hokage looked at female Godzilla appraisingly. Having a Titan on our side might be exactly what we need in the coming years. Coming years? Naruto asked. The Hokage's expression darkened. There are forces moving in the shinobi world, Naruto. Orochimaru's appearance in the Forest of Death wasn't random. There are organizations hunting Jinchuriki. Wars are brewing. Minato saw this coming, which is why he made such extreme preparations to protect you. He speaks of the Akatsuki, the Nine-Tails said grimly. And other threats. The world is changing, Kit. Your father understood that you need every advantage to survive. The Akatsuki? Naruto asked aloud. A story for another time, Jiraiya said. For now you need rest. The finals of the Chunin exam are in a month. You have training to do. Training? Naruto perked up despite his exhaustion. Can't have my student showing up unprepared, can I? Jiraiya grinned. Besides, someone needs to teach you how to work with your new partner here. No offense, Titania. But you and Naruto need to learn to fight together, not just have you solve all his problems. None taken, female Godzilla said. I agree. My alpha should be formidable in his own right, not dependent on my strength. Great. When do we start? After you sleep for at least 12 hours, Kakashi interjected. You're dead on your feet, Naruto. Titania, will you need accommodations? I can return to the seal if necessary. No, Naruto said quickly. The thought of her being sealed away again bothered him more than he wanted to examine. Stay out. There's room at my apartment. Everyone stared at him. Naruto, Kakashi said carefully, having an unmarried woman stay at your apartment. She's a Titan, not a girlfriend. Naruto's face flushed. Besides, where else is she supposed to go? It's not like she has ID or citizenship or anything. The boy makes a fair point, the Hokage mused. We can't exactly put her in a hotel. And keeping her close to Naruto makes sense given their bond. He turned to Titania. Will you abide by Konoha's laws while you're here? Within reason, female Godzilla replied. I will not harm innocents or cause unnecessary destruction. Beyond that, laws are human constructs that don't particularly concern me. That'll have to do, the Hokage sighed. Naruto, take her home. Get some rest. We'll convene tomorrow to discuss training and... He paused. How to explain this to the village? Explain? Naruto asked. Son, you walked into the tower with a woman who radiates enough power to make Jonin nervous. People noticed. By tomorrow, there will be rumors. We need to get ahead of them with something approaching the truth. Great, Naruto muttered. More people staring at me. You'll have to get used to it, Jiraiya said cheerfully. Between the Nine-Tails and a Titan, you're probably the most dangerous genin in shinobi history. Fame comes with the territory. I don't want fame. I just want ramen and sleep. Female Godzilla placed a hand on his shoulder. Then let us acquire both, my alpha. This conversation grows tiresome. The Hokage dismissed them with a wave. As they left the building, Naruto noticed the stares from other shinobi. Some were curious, others wary, a few openly hostile. Female Godzilla ignored them all with regal indifference. Does it bother you? Naruto asked as they walked through the darkening streets. The way they look at you, why would it? They are insignificant. She glanced down at him. You care about their opinions. I've spent my whole life being stared at. The demon brat, the monster, the outcast. I just wanted to be acknowledged, you know? Respected. You will be, female Godzilla said with absolute certainty. You command a titan. When word spreads, the entire shinobi world will acknowledge you. Whether they respect you or fear you, that is your choice to make. They reached his apartment building, a rundown complex on the outskirts of the village. Naruto's place was small, barely more than a studio, with a kitchenette, a bathroom, and a sleeping area. It's not much, he said, suddenly self-conscious. Female Godzilla surveyed the space with interest. It's shelter. That's sufficient. She moved to the window, looking out at the village lights. I have spent centuries sealed in darkness. This is palace by comparison. Naruto rummaged through his cupboards. I've got instant ramen, and more instant ramen. Sorry, I don't require human food frequently, female Godzilla said. My sustenance comes primarily from ambient energy, sunlight, geothermal heat, radiation. But I will share a meal with you if you wish. Really? You can eat sunlight? I am a living nuclear reactor in my true form. Sunlight is merely a snack. She turned from the window. But yes, I can consume human food for pleasure if not necessity. Naruto boiled water and prepared 2 cups of ramen. They sat on his small couch, female Godzilla having to fold her long legs awkwardly, and ate in companionable silence. This is surprisingly pleasant, female Godzilla observed, slurping noodles with unexpected delicacy. I had forgotten the simple comfort of shared meals. You used to do this? Before you were sealed? Occasionally. With the other titans, when we gathered. We were not always solitary creatures. Her expression grew distant. Raden, Mothra, Anguirus. We had our own society before humans grew numerous enough to fear us. What happened to them? The other titans? Sealed away, like me. The Sage of Six Paths deemed us too dangerous to exist freely in a world dominated by humans. Perhaps he was right. We were forces of nature given will, earthquakes and tsunamis that could think and choose their targets. She set down her empty cup. But that doesn't mean I enjoyed centuries of imprisonment. I'm sorry. Why? You didn't seal me. And in truth, the seal led me to you. I am not displeased with this outcome. She studied him with those intense eyes. You are interesting, Naruto Uzumaki. More interesting than any human I've encountered in recent centuries. Naruto felt his face heat again. Having an impossibly powerful, attractive woman say things like that was doing things to his teenage brain he wasn't prepared to deal with. I should sleep, he said quickly, standing. You can take the bed. I'll sleep on the couch. Unacceptable. You need proper rest. So do you. I need minimal sleep. 4 hours every few days at most. She rose gracefully. You will take the bed. I will meditate by the window. This is non-negotiable, my alpha. Too tired to argue, Naruto trudged to his bed and collapsed. He was asleep before his head hit the pillow. In his mindscape, the 9 tails waited. Finally, the great fox rumbled. We need to talk, Kit. About her. Naruto appeared before the massive cage, looking up at glowing red eyes. What about her? The bond between you is deeper than you realize. I can feel it through our own connection. She wasn't lying. As you grow stronger, she grows more able to manifest. But it works both ways. Her power will influence you, change you. Change me how? Have you noticed your senses are sharper? Your healing is faster than it used to be, even beyond my chakra's influence. That's her. The Titan essence is seeping into your body, reinforcing it. Eventually, you may develop traits of the Titans yourself. Like what? I'm not going to turn into a giant lizard, am I? Not physically. But your chakra will take on qualities of hers. Your presence will become more dominant. Others will feel compelled to follow you or flee from you. That's how Titan alphas work. Their very existence commands respect or fear. Great. More reasons for people to be scared of me. Or more reasons for them to follow you, the 9 tails countered. You want to be Hokage? An alpha's presence will make that easier. People will naturally look to you for leadership. That's actually not terrible. There are downsides. You'll attract attention, both positive and negative. powerful individuals will either want to join your pack or challenge you for dominance. And speaking of pack, the fox's tone turned amused. You realize she's attracted to you, yes? What? No. She's just protective because of the bond, naive kid. Titans don't do anything halfway. She declared you her alpha. Do you understand what that means in Titan's social structure? You're not just her master or partner, you're her chosen mate. Naruto's face burned. She hasn't. We just met. Titans don't measure time the way you do. She's millennia old. To her, determining a worthy mate takes minutes, not months. She's already decided you're worthy. Whether you reciprocate is your choice. But be aware of what she's offering. This is too much. I'm 13. You're also a Jinchuriki with a Titan sealed in you. Normal relationship advice doesn't apply. The Ninetales sounded far too entertained. Besides, you won't stay 13 forever. She can wait. Titans are patient when they choose to be. Naruto woke with a start, sunlight streaming through his window. For a moment, he thought the previous day had been a dream. Then he heard humming from his kitchenette. Female Godzilla stood at his stove, cooking something that smelled amazing. She changed clothes somehow, now wearing a simple black tank top and pants that fit her like they'd been made for her, which, knowing her abilities, they probably had been. You're awake, she said without turning. Good. I've prepared breakfast. You can cook? I've had thousands of years to learn various skills. Cooking is among the simpler ones. She turned, presenting a plate of eggs, rice, and fish. Eat. You need protein to recover. The food was incredible. Naruto couldn't remember the last time he'd had a home-cooked meal. Where did you even get the ingredients? He asked between bites. I convinced the market vendor that selling to me was in his best interests. Please tell me you didn't threaten him. I paid with money from your jar. She pointed to his emergency fund. And smiled. Humans respond well to smiles, I've noticed. Even when they can sense the predator behind it. That's weirdly considerate. You are my alpha. Your comfort is my concern. She sat across from him, watching him eat with evident satisfaction. Also, your living space was disorganized. I corrected this. Naruto looked around. His apartment, normally a disaster zone, was immaculate. Everything had a place. The clutter had vanished. You cleaned my apartment? You require an environment conducive to rest and recovery. Chaos does not provide this. She tilted her head. You don't approve? No, thank you. Nobody's ever done something like this for me before. Titania's expression softened. Then the humans of this village are fools. You deserve care, little alpha. You give so much of yourself to others. Someone should give back. There was a knock at the door. Naruto opened it to find Hinata Hyuga standing there, looking nervous and determined in equal measure. And Naruto-kun, she stammered. I heard you were back. I wanted to check if you were okay after the forest, and her pale eyes locked onto Titania, who had appeared behind Naruto like a guardian shadow. The two women stared at each other. Hinata's Byakugan activated unconsciously, then immediately deactivated with a gasp. What did you see? Female Godzilla asked, her tone neutral but her eyes sharp. Your chakra, it's enormous. Like an ocean. Like nothing I've ever. Hinata trailed off, then seemed to gather her courage. Who are you, Titania? I am bonded to Naruto. She studied Hinata with interest. You care for him. I can sense it in your heartbeat's rhythm. Hinata's face went crimson. That's Naruto-kun, are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. Better than fine, actually. Titania's been taking care of me. He gestured them both inside. Come in. This is kind of a long story. As Hinata stepped in hesitantly, Titania's gaze followed her with calculating interest. The Hyuga girl was small, soft-spoken, seemingly timid. But there was steel beneath that gentle exterior, and the way she looked at Naruto. She could be pack, female Godzilla murmured, too low for Hinata to hear but clear to Naruto. If she proves worthy, Naruto shot her a look that clearly said not now. The day was just beginning, and already Naruto could tell his life had shifted into a complexity he never imagined. A titan in his apartment, a girl who'd loved him in secret for years sitting nervously on his couch, and somewhere in the village, people making decisions about his future based on power he didn't fully understand. But as female Godzilla moved to sit beside him, her presence solid and reassuring, and as Hinata smiled at him with genuine warmth despite her nervousness, Naruto thought maybe, just maybe, this new complexity wasn't entirely bad. His life would never be simple again, but perhaps it would be something better, meaningful. Naruto stood in the center of the competitor's floor, hands jammed in his pockets, trying to ignore the stares. Every genin, every Jonin instructor, every proctor, they were all looking at him differently now. Word had spread fast about what happened in the Forest of Death, or rather, rumors had spread. The truth was classified, but that hadn't stopped speculation from running wild. I heard he summoned a demon. No, it was a secret weapon from the fourth Hokage. My sensei said it was a creature from before the villages were founded. Naruto grimaced. None of them knew about female Godzilla specifically, but they knew something had changed. They could feel it, the shift in his presence, subtle but undeniable. They sensed the Titan's influence on you, the Nine Tails observed. Your chakra signature has changed. You smell like apex predator now instead of prey. Great. Just what I needed, to smell scary. In the stands reserved for VIPs, female Godzilla sat beside Kakashi, looking thoroughly uninterested in the proceedings. She wore a modified Jonin vest over her black bodysuit. A compromise reached with the Hokage so she'd be less conspicuous. It wasn't working. Her presence alone made people nervous. Must you glare at everyone? Kakashi asked mildly. I'm not glaring. This is my neutral expression. Your neutral expression makes Chunin reach for weapons. Then they have good survival instincts. Titania's eyes tracked Naruto below. When does this begin? My alpha grows restless. Soon. The Hokage is about to explain the rules. Hinata sat 3 rows behind them, flanked by her teammates Kiba and Shino. She couldn't stop glancing between Naruto and the strange woman who'd appeared in his life. The woman who radiated danger like heat from a forge. The woman who looked at Naruto like he was the most important thing in existence. That lady gives me the creeps, Kiba muttered, Akamaru whimpering in his jacket. Even Akamaru won't stop shaking when she's around. She is unusual, Shino agreed, his insects buzzing anxiously beneath his coat. My Kakashi refused to approach her. They sensed something that terrifies them on an instinctual level. Hinata said nothing, but her Byakugan remained active, studying Titania's chakra network. It was mesmerizing and horrifying. Instead of the normal pathways humans possessed, Titania's entire body seemed to be chakra, or something like it. Dense, ancient, powerful beyond measure, and bonded to Naruto. Hinata had sensed that immediately, invisible threads of energy connecting the woman to Naruto, pulsing with shared vitality. Who is she? Hinata wondered. And why do I feel like she's evaluating me? Below, the third Hokage stepped forward to address the gathered genin. Congratulations on passing the second test, he began. However, due to the number of remaining candidates, we must hold a preliminary round before the finals. Those who are too injured to continue may withdraw now. Kabuto raised his hand, citing exhaustion. Naruto noticed Sasuke swaying slightly, the curse mark on his neck still causing problems despite Kakashi's seal. But the Uchiha's pride wouldn't let him quit. Stubborn idiot, Naruto thought fondly. The preliminaries will be one-on-one combat, the Hokage continued. Winners advance to the finals in 1 month. The matches will be decided randomly. He gestured to the electronic board. Let's begin. The board flickered, names scrolling rapidly before settling on the first match. Sasuke Uchiha vs Yoroi Akado. Sasuke descended to the arena floor, his movements slightly unsteady. Yoroi, a sound ninja with distinctive glasses, grinned confidently. This will be easy, Yoroi said. I can see you're injured, Uchiha. You should have withdrawn. Sasuke's response was activating his Sharingan. The match was brutal and quick. Despite his weakened state, Sasuke's genius and the Sharingan gave him the edge. He copied Yoroi's chakra absorption techniques tells, adapted, and finished the fight with his Lion's Barrage, a technique Naruto recognized as similar to what Lee had used against Sasuke in the forest. He learned that from watching Lee fight him, Naruto realized. That's the Sharingan's power. Female Godzilla leaned forward slightly, interested despite herself. The Uchiha has talent. His eyes are intriguing, copying techniques through observation. Primitive but effective. That's rich coming from someone who can atomize buildings with her breath, Kakashi said dryly. Breath weapons are honest. Stealing techniques requires cunning. She smiled slightly. I approve of cunning. The next few matches passed quickly. Zaku vs Shino ended with the Sound Ninja's arms destroyed by Shino's insects. Kankuro defeated Misumi with his puppet techniques. Sakura fought Ino in a match that came down to a double knockout. Naruto winced watching that one. Both girls were exhausted, having poured everything into their rivalry over Sasuke. Neither seemed to realize how much stronger they could be if they worked together. Then the board flickered again. Naruto Uzumaki vs Kiba Inuzuka. Yes. Naruto pumped his fist, jumping down to the arena floor. Kiba followed with Akamaru on his head, but the dog was whimpering. Kiba noticed. What's wrong, boy? It's just Naruto, but Akamaru's instincts were screaming. The scent coming from Naruto was all wrong, overlaid with something ancient and predatory that made every animal instinct howl in terror. In the stands, female Godzilla sat up straighter. Interesting. The dog boy senses the change in my alpha. This should be a close match, Kakashi observed. Kiba's taijutsu is solid, and Akamaru gives him versatility. He will lose. That confident in Naruto? I am confident in what I've taught him. Titania's eyes gleamed. Watch. Below, Hate Gecko raised his hand. Begin. Kiba immediately went on the offensive. Akamaru, let's go. Beast human clone. Akamaru transformed into a copy of Kiba, and both charged from different angles. It was a basic strategy. Divide the enemy's attention, strike from multiple directions. Naruto didn't move. He stood perfectly still, eyes closed, breathing slow and measured. It was a stance female Godzilla had drilled into him over the past 3 days. The Titan's patience, she called it. Stillness that concealed explosive potential. What's he doing? Kiba shouted. Fight back. Both Kibas launched their Fang over Fang technique, spinning rapidly toward Naruto in twin drill-like attacks. Naruto's eyes snapped open, and for just a moment, they glowed with electric blue light. He moved, not with ninja speed, but with Titan-enhanced reflexes. His hand shot out, catching the real Kiba by the face mid-spin. The momentum should have torn Naruto's arm off. Instead, he absorbed the impact, planted his feet, and redirected. Kiba went flying, slamming into the far wall with bone-jarring force. Akamaru yelped and retreated, reverting to his normal form. The arena went silent. What the hell? Someone whispered. Naruto looked at his hand, surprised. Whoa. That actually worked. In the stands, female Godzilla smiled with satisfaction. He's learning to channel my strength through the bond. Not much yet. Perhaps 1% of what I could lend him. But enough. Kakashi's visible eye was wide. You taught him that in 3 days? I taught him the basics. His body is adapting faster than expected. The Uzumaki vitality combined with the Nine Tails healing and my essence. He's becoming something extraordinary. Kiba pulled himself from the wall, shaking his head to clear it. Okay, that hurt. But I'm not done. He pulled out a food pill. Akamaru, eat this. The dog reluctantly swallowed the pill, and his fur turned red as his chakra spiked. Kiba did the same, his features becoming more feral. Man-beast combination transformation. Double-headed wolf. In a cloud of smoke, Kiba and Akamaru merged into a massive two-headed wolf. The creature howled and launched itself at Naruto with terrifying speed. Naruto formed his signature cross seal. Shadow Clone Jutsu. 20 Narutos appeared. The wolf plowed through them, dispersing clones left and right. But each clone that dispersed gave Naruto more information, more reaction time. Use what we discussed, the Nine Tails urged. Layer our chakra with hers. Naruto focused, reaching for both sources of power within him. The Nine Tails' burning red chakra and Titania's deep blue energy. They were opposites in many ways, fire and ocean, rage and patience. But they could coexist. His skin began to emit a faint blue glow. The wolf's next lunge met Naruto's palm. Again, he caught and redirected, but this time with more force. The wolf yelped as it was thrown across the arena, reverting back to Kiba and Akamaru in midair. Both landed hard. Akamaru was unconscious. Kiba struggled to rise, but his body wouldn't cooperate. Winner, Naruto Uzumaki, Hate announced. The crowd erupted in confused murmurs. Naruto helped Kiba to his feet, and Medical Ninja rushed to collect both him and Akamaru. What did you do? Kiba gasped. You're not this strong. You've never been this strong. Trained hard, Naruto said honestly. Had a good teacher. As Kiba was carried off, Naruto looked up at the stands. Female Godzilla nodded once, approval clear in her expression. Kakashi looked shocked. And Hinata. Hinata was staring at him with wide eyes, her face flushed. He just displayed power beyond anything a genin should possess, and instead of fear, her expression held something else entirely. Wonder. The matches continued. Hinata fought Neji in a brutal encounter that made Naruto's blood boil. The Hyuga Proctor's cruelty toward his cousin, his talk of fate and destiny, his attempt to kill her after the match was called. Naruto had to be physically restrained by Kakashi as killing intent rolled off him in waves. Let me go! Naruto snarled. I'll tear him apart. Stand down, Kakashi ordered. Hinata is being treated. She'll be fine. In the VIP section, female Godzilla watched Naruto's rage with approval. Good. He protects his pack. The Hyuga girl has earned his loyalty. She stood. I should go to him before he does something reckless. You'll make a scene. I am always a scene, Kakashi Hatake. At least this way I'll be a productive one. She descended to the arena floor just as Rock Lee's match against Gaara concluded, or rather, ended in horrific injury. Lee's arm and leg were crushed, his career potentially over. The Sand Ninja's bloodlust was palpable. Naruto felt it, the same monstrous presence he'd sensed in the forest. Shikaku, the One-Tail. Another Jinchuriki, but one who'd clearly lost himself to his Bija. Gaara's eyes found Naruto's across the arena. Recognition flickered, predator acknowledging predator. You, Gaara said, his voice carrying despite the distance. You smell like blood and ancient things. What are you? Before Naruto could respond, female Godzilla appeared beside him. The temperature in the arena rose noticeably. Gaara's eyes widened. His sand, which had been swirling protectively around him, suddenly recoiled as if burned. Mother, Gaara whispered, and for the first time since he'd appeared, fear entered his voice. Mother is afraid. What is that thing? Female Godzilla regarded Gaara with cold assessment. A failed Jinchuriki hosting a lesser Bija. How pathetic. Shikaku's presence surged, pressing against Gaara's seal. The One-Tail's voice was audible to those sensitive enough. Titan. Impossible. You should be sealed. I was. I'm better now. Female Godzilla placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. This one is mine. Touch him and I'll teach you what true monsters look like. The entire arena had gone silent. Even the Hokage was watching intently. Gaara stared at them both, his worldview clearly fracturing. Then he vanished in a swirl of sand, retreating to the stands. Well, Hate said weakly. That was... Let's continue with the next match. The board flickered. Temari vs. Tenten. Tenten descended confidently, weapons scrolls ready. Temari followed with her massive fan, looking intrigued rather than worried. But Temari's attention kept drifting to Naruto and the woman beside him. The blonde Sand Kunoichi had excellent instincts. She could feel power when it was present, and that woman radiated it like the sun radiated heat. The match began. Tenten launched her signature technique, Rising Twin Dragons, sending hundreds of weapons at Temari from multiple angles. Temari's wind techniques deflected them all effortlessly. Within minutes, Tenten was defeated, unconscious from being battered by her own weapons. But as Temari walked past Naruto on her way back to the stands, she paused. You're interesting, she said bluntly. That power you showed against the Inuzuka kid, that's not normal. And your friend here. She glanced at Titania. She's definitely not normal. Got a problem with that? Naruto challenged. No. Just making an observation. Temari smiled slightly. I like interesting. Boring people don't survive long in this world. She continued up the stairs, but Naruto noticed her looking back more than once. Another one, female Godzilla observed. The wind user. She's evaluating you as a potential mate. What? No, she's not. I can sense these things. Her heartbeat increased when you spoke. Her pupils dilated. Her scent changed. Female Godzilla tilted her head. Do you find her attractive? That's not. Can we not talk about this here? The Titan's right, Kit, the Nine Tails chuckled. The Sand Girl is interested. As is the Hyuga. You're collecting females without even trying. Shut up. The remaining matches concluded quickly. Shikamaru defeated Kin with brilliant strategy. Choji lost to Dosu. And finally, Ino's teammate, Shino, had already won his match earlier. When all was finished, 9 genin remained for the finals. Naruto Uzumaki, Sasuke Uchiha, Neji Hyuga, Gaara, Shikamaru Nara, Temari, Kankuro, Dosu Kinuta, Shino Aburame. The Hokage announced they'd have 1 month to prepare. Matches would be drawn later. As the crowd dispersed, Naruto made his way to the hospital. Hinata and Lee both needed checking on. Female Godzilla followed like a shadow. You don't have to come, Naruto said. You are going into a building full of potentially vulnerable people. What if someone attacks? It's a hospital, an excellent place for assassination attempts. Her logic was infuriatingly sound. They found Hinata awake, heavily bandaged but stable. Her eyes lit up when Naruto entered. And Naruto-kun, she whispered. You won your match. I knew you would. You gave Neji hell, Naruto said, pulling up a chair. That took guts, standing up to him like that. I wanted to prove. I'm not weak. That fate isn't set in stone. She glanced at Titania, who stood by the door like a sentinel. Your friend. She's very protective. Yeah, she is. Naruto rubbed the back of his head. Listen, Hinata, about what happened with Neji. You wanted to fight him, Hinata said softly. I could see it. The way you looked at him. He tried to kill you. After the match was already over, and you were ready to tear him apart to protect me. Hinata's pale eyes met his. Thank you, Naruto-kun. No one's ever defended me like that before. Female Godzilla spoke from the doorway. My alpha protects those he values. You fought with courage, Hyuga girl. That earns respect. My name is Hinata. Hinata. Female Godzilla tested the name. You care for my alpha. I can sense it in every breath you take. Hinata's face went crimson, but she didn't deny it. I've admired Naruto-kun for a long time. Admiration can become more, female Godzilla said. If nurtured properly. Okay. Naruto stood abruptly. We should let you rest, Hinata. Get better, okay? The finals are in a month. I want to see you there. I'll be there, Hinata promised. To watch you become Chunin. As they left the room, Naruto heard female Godzilla humming thoughtfully. What? He asked. The Hyuga girl. She has potential. Soft-spoken but steel-willed. She would make a good pack member. Will you stop trying to recruit people into this weird pack thing? It's not weird. It's natural. Alphas gather those worthy around them. You're doing it unconsciously already. The Uchiha, the Hyuga, even the Nara with his clever mind. They're drawn to your strength. They're my friends. Friendship is the foundation of pack bonds. Female Godzilla smiled. You understand this better than you think. They checked on Lee next. The taijutsu specialist was unconscious, his injuries severe. Tsunade would be needed to heal him properly. But she was still out in the world somewhere, gambling and drinking away her sorrows. I'll find her, Naruto vowed silently. I'll bring her back and make her fix Lee. He deserves to be a ninja. As they left the hospital, the sun was setting. Naruto's stomach growled. Ichiraku's? Female Godzilla asked. You're learning my schedule. You're very predictable when it comes to ramen. They headed to the small ramen stand, Naruto's favorite place in the village. Tucci greeted them warmly, though his daughter Ayam did a double take at Titania. Naruto. And a friend? Tucci asked. This is Titania. She's staying with me for a while. Ayam's eyebrows rose, but she said nothing, just smiled and took their order. 2 miso ramen bowls appeared quickly. Female Godzilla ate with surprising enthusiasm. This is excellent. The broth has depth. Told you Ichiraku's is the best. Naruto slurped happily. They were on their third bowls when Jiraiya appeared, settling onto a stool beside them. There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you too. We were at the hospital, Naruto said between bites. Right. About your training for the finals. Jiraiya glanced at Titania. We need to talk. Somewhere private. They finished eating, Naruto insisting on paying despite female Godzilla offering to simply convince Tsuchi to comp the meal, and followed Jiraiya to a secluded training ground. Alright, Jiraiya said seriously. Naruto, you displayed abilities in the preliminaries that raised eyebrows. The Hokage wants to know exactly what female Godzilla has been teaching you. Efficiency, female Godzilla answered before Naruto could. How to channel my essence through his body to enhance strength and durability. Basic techniques that any Titan would teach their chosen. And how far can this go, theoretically? If Naruto mastered the bond completely, he could manifest partial Titan transformations. Claws, scales, enhanced senses. Perhaps even my atomic breath in a limited form. Jiraiya's expression was grave. That kind of power in a genin will make him a target, female Godzilla finished. Yes. But he was already a target as the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. This simply gives him the means to defend himself against those who would use him. She's right, Naruto said. Orochimaru wanted Sasuke, but he would have killed me without thinking twice. If female Godzilla hadn't been there. Jiraiya sighed. I know. But this complicates things. The finals will be attended by dignitaries from every major village. They'll see what you can do. They'll report back. Within weeks, every nation will know about the Titan. Let them know, female Godzilla said coldly. Let them understand that Naruto Uzumaki is not to be trifled with. That's not how diplomacy works. Then diplomacy is inefficient. She turned to Naruto. Your godfather worries too much about what others think. Strength speaks louder than words. Godfather? Naruto's eyes widened. You're my godfather? Jiraiya looked sheepish. Ah. That may have slipped out. Why didn't you tell me? It's complicated. Your father had enemies. I had to keep distance to keep you safe. By letting me grow up alone? Naruto's voice rose. Female Godzilla placed a hand on his shoulder. Breathe, my alpha. Anger clouds judgment. The contact helped. Naruto took a deep breath, forcing down the surge of emotion. We'll discuss this later, he said tightly. What about my training? Jiraiya seemed relieved at the change of subject. I'll teach you a new technique. Something that will give you an edge in the finals. But you'll need to master the Nine-Tails chakra better first. I can help with that, female Godzilla offered. The Nine-Tails and I have come to an understanding. With both our powers supporting him, Naruto can achieve what normally takes years in merely weeks. She's not wrong, Kit, the Nine-Tails rumbled. With both of us actively helping instead of you just leeching my chakra, your growth will be exponential. Fine, Jiraiya said. We start tomorrow. Meet me at Training Ground 15 at dawn. And Titania? Try not to destroy half the training ground this time. That was one time. And the ground was poorly constructed anyway. After Jiraiya left, Naruto and female Godzilla walked back toward his apartment. The village was quiet in the evening, most people inside for dinner. You defended me, Naruto said suddenly. Against Jiraiya, I mean. When he was talking about hiding my power, he means well, but he thinks like prey, female Godzilla replied. Hiding makes you a target. Displaying strength makes others think twice before attacking. Is that how it worked with Titans? Just show off how strong you are, essentially. Territorial displays, demonstrations of power. The strong ruled, the weak submitted or fled. Simple. Honest. She glanced down at him. Your world is more complicated, I know. Politics, alliances, deception. But the fundamental truth remains, respect comes from strength. I don't want people to respect me just because I'm scary. Then be strong enough that they respect you by choice rather than fear. Give them the option to follow willingly. Her expression softened. That is what true alphas do. They don't demand submission. They inspire loyalty. They reached his apartment building. As they climbed the stairs, Naruto noticed someone waiting at his door. Ino Yamanaka stood there, arms crossed, looking annoyed. About time, Naruto. I've been waiting 20 minutes. Ino? What are you doing here? Sakura told me about the forest of death. About what saved you. Her eyes cut to Titania. I wanted to see for myself if the rumors were true. Female Godzilla studied the blonde girl with interest. Another one evaluating my alpha. This is becoming a pattern. I'm not. That's not why I'm here. Ino's face flushed. I just wanted to understand what happened. Sakura was terrified. She said this woman appeared out of nowhere and destroyed 3 giant snakes like they were nothing. That's accurate, female Godzilla confirmed. And now you're living with Naruto? I am bonded to him. Where else would I stay? Ino's expression shifted to something calculating. Bonded. What does that mean exactly? It means I protect him. Support him. Ensure his survival and eventual ascension to power. That's a lot. He deserves no less. Titania's tone was absolute. And neither do those who prove worthy of joining his pack. There's that pack thing again, Ino muttered. She looked at Naruto. This is insane. You know that, right? This whole situation? Tell me about it, Naruto sighed. But it's my life now. Might as well make the best of it. Ino studied them both for a long moment. Then, surprisingly, she smiled. You know what? Good. You deserve something good, Naruto. Even if that something is a terrifying ancient monster woman. I am not terrifying, female Godzilla said mildly. I am appropriately intimidating. Despite everything, Naruto laughed. Ino joined in, the tension breaking. Want to come in? Naruto offered. I was going to make tea. Or female Godzilla was. She's better at domestic stuff than me. Sure. Ino followed them inside. This I have to see. As female Godzilla efficiently prepared tea, where had she even learned tea ceremony? And Ino peppered them with questions about the bond, the Titans, and what it meant for Naruto's future. Something shifted. This felt like friendship. Like connection. Like the beginning of something that could grow into what female Godzilla kept calling pack. Maybe she wasn't wrong about that. Outside, perched on a nearby roof, Temari watched the apartment window with thoughtful eyes. The sand kunoichi had followed them from the hospital, curiosity getting the better of her. There was something about Naruto Uzumaki. Something that called to instincts she didn't fully understand. And that woman with him, Titania, she was clearly powerful beyond measure. Gaara feared her. That alone was remarkable. What are you, Naruto Uzumaki? Temari wondered. And why do I want to know more? She vanished into the night, but her interest had been sparked. The moon rose over Konoha, and in his apartment, Naruto sat surrounded by people who, for various reasons, had entered his orbit. Titania, ancient and protective. Ino, curious and warming to him. And somewhere in the hospital, Hinata recovered while thinking of the boy who'd defended her honor. The pack was forming, whether Naruto fully realized it yet or not. And the finals were only a month away. Training Ground 15 was remote, surrounded by dense forests and far from civilian areas. Which was good, because what Naruto was attempting would probably level anything nearby. He stood in the center of the clearing, eyes closed, breathing measured. Sweat poured down his face despite the cool morning air. Around him, the ground had cracked from repeated releases of energy. Again, female Godzilla commanded from where she sat on a boulder, watching with critical eyes. Naruto gathered chakra from both sources. The Nine Tails burning red and Titania's oceanic blue. The trick was merging them without letting either overwhelm him. Like trying to mix fire and water without creating steam that would blow him apart. The energy swirled around him, visible to anyone watching. Red and blue spiraling together, creating purple where they merged. Good, female Godzilla said. Now hold it. Don't release, just maintain. Seconds ticked by. Naruto's muscles trembled with effort. The combined chakra wanted to explode outward, but he forced it to circulate through his system instead. 10 seconds. 20. 30. Excellent. Female Godzilla stood, moving to him with fluid grace. You've improved dramatically. 3 days ago you could barely hold it for 5 seconds. Naruto released the chakra with a gasp, falling to his knees. It still feels like I'm going to tear apart from the inside. That's because your body is still adapting. She handed him a water bottle. The Titan essence is rewriting your physiology. Strengthening bones, enhancing muscle density, improving chakra pathways. It's painful but necessary. She's turning you into something between human and Titan, the Nine-Tails observed. I can feel the changes. Your healing is faster, your sense is sharper. Even your chakra capacity is increasing beyond what it should be. Is that permanent? Naruto asked aloud. Yes, female Godzilla confirmed. Even if our bond were somehow severed, you'd retain most of the enhancements. Consider it my gift, you're becoming the apex predator you were meant to be, a voice called from the tree line. That's all very dramatic, but can we focus on actual ninja techniques now? Jiraiya emerged, followed by someone Naruto didn't expect, Anko Mitarashi. The special Jonin looked curious and slightly manic, as she often did. Anko-san? What are you doing here? Your godfather asked me to help with training, Anko said, grinning. Plus, I wanted to see the Titan up close without interrogation room protocols. Female Godzilla regarded Anko with interest. The serpent mistress. You bear Orochimaru's curse mark. Anko's hand went to her neck instinctively. How did you? I can smell his chakra in you. Festering like infection. Titania's expression darkened. I should remove it. You can do that? Anko's voice held hope she tried to hide. Easily. The mark is a pale imitation of real power. A parasite that gives borrowed strength while slowly corrupting the host. Female Godzilla stepped closer. If you wish, I can burn it away. It will hurt, but you'll be free of him. Anko looked at Jiraiya, who nodded. It's your choice, Anko. But if she's offering, do it, Anko said firmly. I'm sick of carrying that bastard's taint. Female Godzilla placed her hand on Anko's neck. Her palm began to glow with blue-white energy. The same heat that powered her atomic breath, but controlled, focused. Anko screamed as the curse mark burned away, but she didn't pull back. After 30 seconds, female Godzilla removed her hand. The curse mark was gone, replaced by smooth, unmarked skin. Anko touched her neck in wonder. It's really gone. I can't feel him anymore. You're welcome. Female Godzilla returned to her boulder. Now you're just a skilled kunoichi without parasitic contamination. Much better. Anko stared at female Godzilla with something like awe. Then she turned to Naruto. Okay, I get it now. You hit the jackpot with this bond thing. Can we please train? Naruto asked, embarrassed. The finals are in less than a month. Right. Jiraiya clapped his hands. Naruto, your opponent in the first round is Niji Hyuga. Talented, skilled, and believes destiny is absolute. You'll need more than raw power to beat him. I'll crush him for what he did to Hinata, Naruto growled. And that's exactly the wrong approach, Jiraiya said. Rage makes you sloppy. What you need is strategy and a technique he won't expect. Like what? Jiraiya's grin turned devious. Like learning to summon. 2 hours later, Naruto was covered in toad slime and thoroughly confused. I don't understand. I'm channeling chakra like you showed me, but nothing's happening. You're using too much, Jiraiya said. Summoning requires precise chakra control, not just raw power. Try again, but this time blend your chakra sources better. Gamabunta, the boss toad, sat nearby looking thoroughly annoyed. Jiraiya, I didn't agree to this. The kid smells weird, like ancient things that should stay buried. He smells like Titan, female Godzilla said from her observation spot. Because he carries my essence. You'll get used to it. Who asked you, lady? Titania's eyes flashed blue. Would you like to find out what happens when a Titan decides a toad is annoying? Gamabunta swallowed nervously. I'll give the kid a fair shot. That's what I thought. Female Godzilla smiled pleasantly. Naruto formed the hand seals again, but this time he carefully blended his chakra. Red and blue spiraling together, controlled and focused. He bit his thumb, smeared blood on the contract, and slammed his palm to the ground. Summoning jutsu, smoke exploded across the training ground. When it cleared, a toad the size of a small house sat before him. Gamakichi, Gamabunta's son. Hey! You actually did it! Gamakichi looked around. Though you're not pervy sage. Who are you? Naruto Uzumaki. And I'm going to be Hokage someday. Huh. You've got spirit, I'll give you that. Gamakichi noticed Titania. Whoa! What is that? That is Titania, my bonded titan. She's helping me train. Bonded titan? That's a thing? Gamakichi looked at Gamabunta. Dad, did you know titans were a thing? Unfortunately, I'm learning this now, Gamabunta grumbled. Jiraiya, your godson is complicated. You have no idea, Jiraiya muttered. Anko, who'd been watching from the sidelines, spoke up. So the kid can summon now. What's next? Teamwork, female Godzilla announced, standing. Naruto has individual power but lacks coordination with others. The preliminaries showed this. He fights alone even in group situations. Hey! I work fine with my team, you rely on shadow clones of yourself. That's not teamwork, that's multiplication of your own fighting style. Female Godzilla gestured to Anko and Jiraiya. You need to learn to coordinate with others who fight differently than you do. Anko grinned. I like the way she thinks. Alright, Naruto, let's do some sparring. You, me, and Pervy Sage. Let's see how you handle 2 Jonin at once. Wait, both of you? Welcome to real ninja life, kid, Anko said, already forming hand seals. The sparring session was brutal. Anko came at him like a whirlwind of snakes and kunai. Her style aggressive and unpredictable. Jiraiya attacked from range with his hair techniques and toad summons. Together, they kept Naruto constantly on the defensive. Shadow clone, Anko's snake wrapped around his wrist before he could finish the seal. Predictable. Naruto channeled Titan strength and snapped the snake, but Jiraiya was already behind him. Ninja art, Needle Jizo, hardened hair spikes shot toward Naruto. He dodged, but Anko was waiting with a roundhouse kick that sent him flying. You're thinking too slow, Anko called. By the time you decide to use a technique, we've already countered it. Naruto got up, frustrated. His power was growing, but these experienced Jonin knew how to handle raw strength. Use our chakra, the Nine Tails urged. Not to power techniques, but to enhance your body. Move faster, hit harder, react quicker. Naruto closed his eyes for just a moment, centering himself like female Godzilla had taught him. Then he let both chakras flow through his body, not explosively, but as a constant enhancement. When his eyes opened, they glowed faintly blue. He moved. Anko's next strike met empty air. Naruto was already past her, moving with speed that shocked both Jonin. He created a shadow clone mid-movement, using it as a springboard to launch himself at Jiraiya. Rasengan! Wait, he didn't know Rasengan yet. But his hand swirled with spiraling chakra anyway, instinct and the Nine Tails knowledge combining. The sphere wasn't perfect, unstable and crackling, but it was there. Jiraiya barely blocked with a summoned toad shield. Where did you learn that? I didn't? Naruto stared at his hand. I just knew how to do it. Female Godzilla was suddenly between them, stopping the spar. Interesting. The bond is allowing you to access knowledge from both the Nine Tails and myself. Battle experience, technique structure, instinctive combat understanding. That's insane, Jiraiya breathed. Minato took 3 years to develop the Rasengan. You just manifested a proto-version instinctively? The Nine Tails watched Minato create it, female Godzilla explained. That memory is available to Naruto through their connection. Combined with my essence enhancing his learning capacity, he's absorbing techniques at an accelerated rate. This changes everything, Jiraiya said. If he can learn the Rasengan properly in a month, if he can combine it with summoning, with Titan-enhanced attributes, he'll be formidable, Anko finished. Maybe formidable enough to beat a Hyuga prodigy. They broke for lunch. Anko produced military ration pills, which Naruto refused in favor of the bento female Godzilla had packed that morning. You pack lunches? Anko asked, amused. My alpha requires proper nutrition, female Godzilla replied primly. These ration pills are efficient but lack essential vitamins and minerals. She's kind of domestic for an ancient monster, Anko observed. I heard that. You were meant to. Anko sat next to Naruto, studying him openly. You know, kid, you're not what I expected when I first proctored your exam. What did you expect? A loud idiot who'd wash out in the forest of death. She shrugged. Instead, you survived Orochimaru, bonded with a Titan, and are developing techniques that should be beyond your level. You're full of surprises. Is that a compliment? It's an observation. Anko's expression grew serious. But here's some advice. The finals aren't just about winning fights. They're about impressing the dignitaries who attend. Lords, ladies, potential clients for the village. How you win matters as much as if you win. Meaning? Meaning don't just overpower Niji with brute force. Show strategy, adaptability, growth. Make them remember you as a skilled ninja, not just a powerful weapon. Naruto absorbed this. That's actually good advice. Thanks, Anko-san. Don't mention it. She stood, stretching. Now come on. Round 2. This time I'm not holding back. The afternoon training was even more intense. But Naruto was learning, not just techniques, but how to read opponents, how to anticipate, how to use his growing power efficiently rather than wastefully. By sunset, he was exhausted but satisfied. His Rasengan was becoming more stable. His summoning was reliable. And his ability to blend the Ninetales and Titania's chakra was improving rapidly. You did well today, female Godzilla said as they walked back toward the village. Jiraiya and Anko had left earlier, promising to return tomorrow. I'm still not where I need to be. You're exactly where you should be. Growth takes time, even accelerated growth. She paused. You're becoming an alpha, Naruto. Not just in power, but in mindset. I'm proud of you. The simple statement hit harder than expected. Naruto couldn't remember the last time someone said they were proud of him. Thanks, he said quietly. They entered the village as the sun set, painting everything in shades of orange and red. Naruto noticed people staring less now. Either they were getting used to Titania, or her presence was becoming the new normal. Naruto-kun. Hinata appeared from a side street, walking slowly but clearly recovered from her injuries. She smiled shyly. I heard you were training. How did it go? Good. I learned to summon and started working on a new technique. He grinned. I'm going to beat Niji and prove destiny is garbage. I believe you will. Hinata's expression grew determined. I've been thinking about what you said. About not giving up, about proving fate wrong. I want to be stronger too. Female Godzilla studied Hinata with renewed interest. The Hyuga girl wishes to grow. Admirable. She stepped closer to Hinata, who tensed but didn't retreat. You have potential, Hinata Hyuga. Your fighting style is defensive, reactive. But you have reserves of courage you haven't tapped. I'm trying to be braver. Bravery isn't the absence of fear. It's acting despite fear. Female Godzilla placed a hand on Hinata's shoulder, a gesture that made the smaller girl's eyes widen. You stood against your cousin knowing you'd likely lose. That's alpha behavior. Alpha? Hinata looked confused. Pack terminology, Naruto explained. Female Godzilla keeps talking about packs and alphas and it's complicated. It's simple, female Godzilla corrected. Alphas lead. Others follow. Packs form around those strong enough to protect them and wise enough to value them. Naruto is becoming an alpha. You could be part of his pack if you choose. Hinata's face went red. P-pack? I don't understand. You care for my alpha. He values you. That's the foundation of pack bonds. Female Godzilla smiled slightly. I'm offering you a choice, Hinata Hyuga. You can remain as you are, talented but limited by your clan's expectations. Or you can accept my essence and become something more. Your essence? A portion of my power, shared through the bond one have with Naruto. It would enhance your abilities significantly, strengthen your Byakugan, increase your chakra reserves, give you access to techniques beyond your clan's style. Naruto's eyes widened. Wait, you can do that? Share your power with others? Through you, yes. You're my anchor. Those who bond with you can access my strength through that connection. Female Godzilla looked between them. It's how Titan packs function. The alpha shares power with the pack, and the pack supports the alpha in return. Hinata was trembling slightly. If I accepted, what would happen? You'd undergo a transformation. Painful but temporary. Your body would adapt to carry Titan essence. You'd develop enhanced physical capabilities, faster healing, stronger techniques. And you'd be connected to Naruto through the pack bond. Connected how? You'd sense his emotional state, his location, his well-being. And he'd sense yours. A permanent link. Titania's expression was serious. This isn't something to accept lightly. Once done, it cannot be undone. Hinata looked at Naruto, her pale eyes searching his face. What do you think, Naruto-kun? I think it's your choice, Naruto said firmly. I'm not going to pressure you either way. But, he hesitated, if you want to get stronger, if this would help you prove Niji wrong about destiny, I'd support that. Hinata was silent for a long moment. Then she straightened, meeting Titania's gaze directly. I accept. They went to Naruto's apartment for the ritual. Female Godzilla insisted on privacy and safety, in case the transformation had unexpected side effects. Hinata sat in the center of the living room, Naruto across from her. Female Godzilla stood behind Hinata, hands on her shoulders. This will hurt, Female Godzilla warned. My essence must integrate with your chakra system. It's not a gentle process, I understand. Hinata's voice was steady despite her obvious nervousness. Then we begin. Titania's hands began to glow. Blue-white energy flowed from her into Hinata, and the Hyuga girl gasped. Her Byakugan activated involuntarily, veins standing out around her eyes. Naruto watched helplessly as Hinata shook, clearly in pain but not crying out. The energy circulated through her body, visible through her skin like lightning in her veins. The Titan's essence is rewriting her chakra pathways, the Nine Tails observed. Making them more efficient, more powerful. She's being enhanced at a fundamental level. Will she be okay? If she survives the integration, she'll be formidable. But there's always risk in accepting power from ancient sources. Minutes passed like hours. Sweat poured down Hinata's face, her hands clenched into fists. But she didn't scream, didn't ask Female Godzilla to stop. Finally, the glow faded. Female Godzilla stepped back, and Hinata collapsed forward. Naruto caught her before she hit the floor. Hinata! Are you okay? Her eyes fluttered open, still pale lavender, but now with faint blue flecks, like ice crystals in snow. Naruto-kun. I can feel everything. Your heartbeat, your concern, your warmth. That's the pack bond, Female Godzilla confirmed. You're connected now. The first member of my Alpha's pack beyond myself. Hinata sat up slowly, looking at her hands. I feel different. Stronger. Like there's power in me that wasn't there before. Activate your Byakugan, Female Godzilla instructed. Hinata formed the seal. When her bloodline limit activated, the effect was immediately different. Her visual range, normally impressive, now extended for kilometers. She could see chakra in detail that should be impossible. Individual pathways, minute fluctuations, the swirling combination of energies inside Naruto. This is incredible, Hinata breathed. I can see so much more than before. That's just the beginning, Female Godzilla said. Train with your new capabilities, and you'll discover abilities your clan never dreamed of. You're the first Hyuga to carry Titan essence. Make the most of it. Hinata stood, testing her balance. She felt lighter, stronger, more energized than ever before. And there was something else, a constant awareness of Naruto, like a compass pointing to true north. She could feel his relief that she was okay, his excitement at her new power, his affection. Naruto-kun, Hinata said softly, thank you. For trusting me with this. You earned it. You're strong, Hinata. You always were. Now everyone else will see it too. Hinata's smile was radiant. Then she swayed, the exhaustion of transformation catching up. You should rest, Female Godzilla said. The integration will continue for several hours. Your body needs time to fully adapt. I'll walk you home, Naruto offered. No need. Female Godzilla moved to the door. I'll escort her. You need to rest as well, my alpha. Tomorrow's training will be even more intensive. But, I insist. Titania's tone brooked no argument. She helped Hinata to the door, then paused. You did well today, Naruto Uzumaki. Your pack is forming. Led them well? After they left, Naruto sat alone in his apartment, processing everything that had happened. You realize what you started, don't you? The Nine Tails asked. What do you mean? Hinata was the first, but she won't be the last. Female Godzilla is right, you're forming a pack. Other women will be drawn to your strength, your potential. Some will want to join, to share in the power you can grant through the Titan bond. That sounds complicated. It is. But it's also how you'll survive what's coming. Akatsuki hunts Jinchuriki. Other villages will fear you and the Titan. You'll need allies you can trust completely. A pack bound by power and loyalty is stronger than any individual. Naruto lay back on his bed, staring at the ceiling. His life had become something he never imagined. A Titan bonded to him, a pack forming around him, power growing inside him that terrified and thrilled in equal measure. And somewhere in the village, Hinata walked home with Titania, feeling the pack bond pulse with life, aware of Naruto in ways she'd only dreamed of before. The next morning, Naruto woke to find female Godzilla had prepared breakfast again, and brought a guest. Tenten sat at his table, looking uncomfortable but determined. Hi. Naruto said groggily. Naruto. Tenten nodded. I hope you don't mind the intrusion. Female Godzilla found me training this morning and suggested we talk. About what she offered Hinata last night. Tenten's eyes were sharp. Hinata came to find me this morning. She was glowing, literally. Her chakra was visible even without my focusing on it. She told me what happened, what female Godzilla offered her. Naruto glanced at Titania, who looked completely unrepentant. The weapons mistress has potential, female Godzilla said. And she's ambitious. Qualities I value. You want to join this pack thing? Naruto asked Tenten. I want to be strong enough that people don't dismiss me, Tenten said bluntly. I lost to Tamari in seconds. Humiliated in front of everyone. If what Hinata described is true, if your Titan can enhance my abilities. She leaned forward. I want in. It's painful, Naruto warned. Hinata could barely stand afterward. I can handle pain. I've trained with Gai-sensei and Lee. Pain is just weakness leaving the body. Tenten's determination was absolute. Please. Give me a chance to prove myself. Naruto looked at Titania, who simply smiled. Your pack grows faster than expected, the Nine Tails observed, amused. Welcome to leadership, Kit, Naruto sighed. His life was never going to be simple again. But looking at Tenten's hopeful expression, at Titania's approval, feeling Hinata's contentment through the pack bond. Maybe that was okay. Alright, he said. After training today, if you're still sure, we'll do the ritual. Tenten's smile was fierce. I'm sure. Let's make me strong enough to matter. The pack was growing, and the finals were only 3 weeks away. The transformation chamber. Actually just Naruto's cleared-out living room, hummed with power as Tenten underwent the integration ritual. Unlike Hinata, who'd remained stoic and silent, Tenten screamed. Almost done, female Godzilla said calmly, her hands channeling blue-white energy into the weapons specialist's body. Your chakra coils are more developed than the Hyuga's. The integration is faster but more intense. Naruto winced as Tenten's scream cut off into a ragged gasp. Through the pack bond, he could feel Hinata's concern from wherever she was in the village, probably at the Hyuga compound, dealing with questions about her sudden improvement. There. Female Godzilla stepped back, and Tenten collapsed onto the floor, breathing hard. Naruto moved to help her sit up. Tenten's eyes, normally brown, now held golden flecks that seemed to shimmer. Her chakra, visible to those with the senses to detect it, had increased dramatically. How do you feel? Naruto asked. Like I was hit by a meteor. Tenten coughed, then smiled weakly. But also amazing. I can feel everything. My chakra flowing, my muscles, every weapon in my scrolls like they're extensions of my body. That's the Titan enhancement, female Godzilla explained. Your connection to your weapons was already strong. Now it's absolute. You'll be able to manipulate them with unprecedented precision. Tenten stood shakily, testing her balance. Then she pulled a kunai from her pouch. The moment her fingers touched it, the weapon seemed to come alive, spinning and dancing through the air at her mental command without her moving. Incredible, she breathed. This is incredible. You're the second member of my Alpha's pack, female Godzilla said with approval. Use this power wisely. Prove yourself worthy of it. As if responding to some unheard signal, there was a knock at the door. Naruto opened it to find Ino Yamanaka standing there, arms crossed. I knew it, Ino said, pushing past him into the apartment. She took in the scene, Tenten still glowing faintly with residual energy. Female Godzilla standing like a priestess who just completed a ceremony. Hinata was acting weird yesterday, and now Tenten's been missing all morning. You're really doing this, aren't you? Building some kind of super team? It's called a pack, female Godzilla corrected. And yes, my alpha needs strength around him. Loyal, capable individuals who can grow alongside him. And you're just handing out power to anyone who asks? No. Titania's voice turned cold. I offer it to those who've proven worthy. Those with courage, determination, and loyalty to my alpha. Not everyone qualifies. Ino bristled at the implied challenge. And what makes you think I want anything from you? You're here, aren't you? Female Godzilla smiled knowingly. You could have ignored the changes in your friends. Could have dismissed it as none of your concern. But you came to investigate, to understand. That shows intelligence and courage. Qualities I value. I came because Hinata and Tenten are my friends. I wanted to make sure they weren't being manipulated. A valid concern. So let me be clear. Female Godzilla stepped closer to Ino, who refused to back down despite the obvious power difference. I manipulate nothing. Every person who joins this pack does so by choice, fully informed of what they're accepting. The bond grants power but demands loyalty. Those who betray my alpha will find me less than forgiving. The temperature in the room rose noticeably. Naruto stepped between them. Okay, that's enough intimidation for one morning. Ino, sit down. Let's talk like normal people. Surprisingly, both women complied. Naruto explained the pack bond, the Titan essence, what it meant to accept Titania's power. Ino listened intently, asking sharp questions that showed her analytical mind at work. So this pact bond, Ino said finally? It's permanent? No take-backs? Permanent, female Godzilla confirmed. Your chakra will forever carry my essence. You'll be connected to Naruto and the other pack members. Enhanced but bound. And what do you get out of this? A strong pack for my alpha. Protection and support for him as he grows into his potential. Female Godzilla tilted her head. And the satisfaction of nurturing worthy individuals. I am ancient, Ino Yamanaka. I have existed alone for millennia. Having a pack again, it pleases me. Ino studied Naruto for a long moment. You're okay with this? Building a harem of superpowered kunoichi. Naruto's face went red. It's not a harem. It's a team. A pack. It's totally a harem, the Nine-Tails laughed. But calling it a pack makes you feel better about it, so sure. I want people around me I can trust, Naruto said seriously. People who'll have my back when things get dangerous. If Titania's power helps make that possible, and if you guys choose to accept it, then yeah, I'm okay with it. Ino was quiet, then nodded. Alright. I'm in. Just like that? Tenten asked, surprised. Just like that. Ino stood. I've been thinking about my future. About how to get stronger without relying on my clan's techniques exclusively. This could be the edge I need. Plus, she smirked at Naruto, someone needs to keep you from being completely overwhelmed by all these girls joining your pack. I'm not overwhelmed, you're adorably overwhelmed. Ino turned to Titania. When can we do this ritual? After you've rested and prepared yourself mentally. Tomorrow morning. Titania's expression was approving. You decide quickly. Good. Hesitation is the enemy of growth. The next day, Ino underwent her transformation. Unlike Tenten's screams or Hinata's stoic silence, Ino gritted her teeth and rode out the pain with sheer stubbornness. When it was done, her mental abilities had expanded exponentially. She could sense minds across the village, touch surface thoughts without using hand seals, and her connection to Naruto felt like a telepathic link. Can you hear me? She thought at him. Naruto jumped. That was you? In my head? The pack bond enhances my clan's abilities. Ino's mental voice was clear as speaking aloud. This is amazing. I could coordinate an entire team mentally now. That's actually really useful, Naruto admitted. Of course it is. I'm useful. Ino grinned. Now you've got 3 of us. Who's next? As if summoned by the question, Anko Mitarashi appeared at the window. Because doors were apparently too mainstream for her. Heard you're recruiting, Anko said, perched on the windowsill. Room for one more? Anko's integration was intense. Your chakra system is damaged from years of bearing the curse mark, female Godzilla observed as energy flowed into the special Jonin. The essence is repairing it, but it's fighting through scar tissue. This will take longer. Anko's only response was a pained grunt. Sweat poured down her face, her muscles locked rigid. But she endured. 20 minutes later, far longer than any previous ritual, female Godzilla stepped back. Done. Your chakra pathways are now stronger than they've ever been. The corruption from Orochimaru's mark is completely purged. Anko stood slowly, rolling her shoulders. Then she formed hand seals at blinding speed and expelled a torrent of snakes. But these weren't normal summons. They glowed with faint blue energy, moved faster, hit harder. Holy shit, Anko breathed. My techniques are at least 50% more powerful. This is insane. You were already skilled, female Godzilla said. Now you're formidable. Use it well. Through the pack bond, Naruto felt the four women, Hinata, Tenten, Ino, and Anko, connected to him and each other. It was strange, feeling their emotions as background noise, knowing they could feel his. Your pack grows strong, the Nine-Tails observed. But you'll need more than Kunoichi to face what's coming. What do you mean? Akatsuki isn't just coming for you. They'll target Gaara too. The Sand Village, all of it. And when that happens, you'll need power beyond what you have now. 2 weeks into the month of preparation, Jiraiya arrived with news. Tsunade's been spotted in a town 3 days from here, he announced. I'm going to bring her back, by force if necessary. The village needs her, especially with Orochimaru active again. I'm coming with you, Naruto said immediately. Absolutely not. You need to train for the finals. I can train on the road. Besides, you said Tsunade is one of the legendary Sannin. I want to meet her. Maybe convince her myself. Jiraiya looked ready to argue, but female Godzilla spoke up. Let him go. The experience will be valuable. And I'll accompany him to ensure his safety. You're not his mother, no. I'm his bonded titan. My responsibility to protect him supersedes your authority. Titania's tone was absolute. He goes, or I go alone and bring her back myself. Your choice, Jiraiya sighed. Fine. But we leave tomorrow at dawn. Naruto, pack light. We'll be moving fast. That evening, Naruto's apartment was crowded. His pack had gathered, all 4 women plus Sakura and Kakashi, who'd heard about the trip. You're really going? Sakura asked. But the finals are 3 weeks away. I'll be back in time. Naruto looked at his pack members. You guys keep training while I'm gone. Get used to your new abilities. We'll spar when I get back. Hinata stepped forward. Be safe, Naruto-kun. We can feel if you're in danger through the bond. If you need us, we'll come running, Ino finished. Pack sticks together, right? Right. Naruto felt warmth in his chest that had nothing to do with chakra. Thanks, guys. Anko ruffled his hair. Don't do anything stupid, kid. Or at least, don't do anything stupider than usual. No promises. After everyone left except Titania, Naruto sat by the window, looking out at the village. Tomorrow he'd leave Konoha for the first time since the Chunin exam started. The thought was exciting and terrifying. Nervous? Female Godzilla asked. A little. Meeting one of the legendary Sannin, trying to convince her to come back. It feels like a lot. You'll manage. You have a way of inspiring people, Naruto Uzumaki. It's one of your greatest strengths. She moved to stand beside him. The pack you've built in 2 weeks is proof of that. 4 strong women chose to bind themselves to you. That's not luck. That's leadership. I just want to protect people. Make sure nobody has to be alone like I was. And that desire makes you worthy. Female Godzilla placed a hand on his shoulder. Sleep now. Tomorrow begins a new chapter of your journey. They left at dawn, Naruto, Jiraiya, and Titania. The journey was grueling, Jiraiya setting a pace that had Naruto gasping by midday. Keep up! Jiraiya called. We're not stopping until sunset. But Naruto kept up, the Titan essence in his body enhancing his stamina beyond normal limits. By the third day, they reached the town where Tsunade was reportedly gambling. They found her in a casino, drunk and losing badly. Tsunade Senju was legendary, one of the 3 Sannin, granddaughter of the first Hokage, master medical ninja. She was also clearly miserable, drowning her sorrows in sake and poor gambling choices. Tsunadeheim, Jiraiya greeted carefully. We need to talk. Go away, Jiraiya. I'm busy losing money. The village needs you. The third Hokage is dead. Orochimaru killed him. Tsunade's hand froze halfway to her drink. Sensei is dead? Yes. And the council wants you to become 5th Hokage. Tsunade laughed bitterly. Me? Hokage? That's a death sentence. Everyone I've ever loved who wanted that title died. My brother Dan. I won't do it. You don't have a choice. I said no. Tsunade slammed her fist on the table, cracking it. Find someone else to be your sacrificial lamb. Naruto stepped forward. You're a coward. The casino went silent. Jiraiya's eyes widened. Female Godzilla watched with interest. Tsunade turned slowly, her eyes dangerous. What did you just say, brat? I said you're a coward? Running away because you're scared of losing people? That's pathetic. Naruto met her glare without flinching. My whole life, I've had nothing. No parents, no friends, everyone in the village hating me for something I didn't do. But I never ran. I never gave up. And I'm going to be Hokage someday, no matter what it takes. Hokage. Tsunade's laugh was harsh. You. A snot-nosed kid who doesn't know anything about loss. I know plenty about loss. I lost my parents before I even knew them. I lost my childhood to loneliness. I've lost and lost and lost. Naruto's voice rose. But I keep going because that's what it means to be strong. Not running away when things hurt. Tsunade stood, towering over him. You have no idea what you're talking about. Then teach me. Naruto shot back. Come back to the village. Be Hokage. Show me what real strength looks like instead of hiding in a casino feeling sorry for yourself. For a long moment, Tsunade just stared at him. Then she grabbed him by the collar and lifted him off his feet. You've got guts, kid. Stupid but guts. She dropped him. Fine. I'll make you a deal. Land one hit on me, just one, and I'll go back to your village and consider the Hokage position. And if I can't, then you shut up about things you don't understand and let me drink in peace. Naruto grinned. Deal. But I'm going to warn you, I'm stronger than I look. We'll see about that. They moved to an open area outside town. Tsunade stood casually, not even taking a fighting stance. Naruto, on the other hand, was deadly serious. She's strong, kid, the Nine Tails warned. Sannin level. This won't be easy, I know. Naruto formed a cross seal. Shadow clone jutsu, 100 Narutos appeared. They rushed Tsunade from all directions. She didn't move until they were almost on her. Then she punched the ground. The earth erupted, shockwaves dispersing every clone instantly. Naruto barely dodged the debris, rolling to safety. That's your legendary technique? Tsunade mocked. Boring. Naruto gritted his teeth. Fine. Time to get serious. He reached for both chakra sources, the Ninetales' burning power and Titania's oceanic strength. They swirled together, red and blue forming purple energy around his hands. Tsunade's eyes narrowed. That chakra, what are you? Someone who doesn't give up. Naruto charged. He was faster than before, Titan-enhanced speed closing the distance in a heartbeat. His punch, loaded with combined chakra, whistled towards Tsunade's face. She caught it with one hand. Good speed. Good power. But not enough, Naruto grinned. His hand exploded in a controlled burst of chakra, the recoil launching him backward, while the explosion knocked Tsunade's head back slightly. Got you! Naruto landed in a crouch. My chakra touched your face. That's a hit. Tsunade touched her cheek, felt the residual energy there. She barely blocked it, instinct saving her from a direct impact, but technically clever, she admitted. Using the explosion to bypass my guard. Fine. You win the bet. She turned to Jiraiya. I'll come back to the village. But I'm not promising to take the Hokage position. Fair enough, Jiraiya said, relieved. Tsunade looked at Naruto curiously. That chakra you used. It wasn't just the 9 tails. What else is sealed in you? Before Naruto could answer, female Godzilla stepped forward. That would be my essence. Tsunade's eyes widened. No. That's impossible. The Titans were all sealed away. I was sealed. In him. Female Godzilla gestured to Naruto. The 4th Hokage's final protection for his son. A Titan bonded to ensure his survival. Minato, you brilliant bastard, Tsunade breathed. You sealed a Titan as a failsafe. That's... She laughed genuinely for the first time. That's insane. I love it. So you'll really come back? Naruto asked. I will. Though I need to settle some debts first. Give me 2 days. Tsunade studied Naruto intently. You've got something, kid. That fire, that determination. Maybe you really could become Hokage someday. I will become Hokage, Naruto corrected. It's not a maybe, Tsunade smiled. We'll see. For now, let's get drinks. You're buying since you destroyed my gambling table. I'm 13, then Jiraiya's buying. Come on, I want to hear about this Titan bond and what you've been up to. 2 days later, they traveled back to Konoha with Tsunade and her assistant Shizun. On the road, Tsunade quizzed Naruto extensively about the pack, the bond, his training. For women already bonded to you, Tsunade mused. At 13. Kid, your life is going to be complicated. Tell me about it, Naruto muttered, though I have to admit, the concept is sound. A group of enhanced shinobi all connected through a shared bond, able to sense each other, coordinate perfectly. That's a strategic advantage. It's more than strategy, female Godzilla said. It's family. Pack is family chosen through bonds of power and loyalty. Tsunade looked thoughtful. Family, huh? I can respect that. They reached Konoha with a week to spare before the finals. News of Tsunade's return spread quickly, and by evening, the council had summoned her. Naruto returned to his apartment to find his pack waiting. You're back. Hinata hugged him before she could stop herself, then pulled back blushing. Sorry, we could feel you getting closer through the bond. We wanted to be here. I'm glad you are. Naruto looked at all 4 of them, Hinata, Tenten, Ino, and Anko. I have so much to tell you about the trip. Tsunade is amazing, and scary, and I think she might actually become Hokage. Later, Ino said firmly. First, we spar. We've been training hard, and we want to show you what we can do now. All of you? At once? Worried? Anko grinned. You should be. We've learned to coordinate through the pack bond. You're in for a surprise. They moved to a training ground. The 4 women spread out, surrounding Naruto. He could feel their anticipation through the bond, their excitement to demonstrate their growth. Begin! Tenten called. They moved as one. Hinata came from the front, her gentle fist enhanced with Titan strength. Tenten attacked from above, weapons raining down with impossible precision. Ino assaulted his mind while Anko's snakes came from the sides. Naruto was forced to use everything, shadow clones, enhanced speed, combined chakra, just to keep up. The coordination between the 4 was perfect, their bond allowing them to adjust tactics instantly without verbal communication. After 10 minutes of intense combat, Naruto called for a stop, breathing hard. Okay. You win! That was incredible. The women gathered around him, glowing with pride and exertion. We've been practicing every day, Hinata explained. Learning to fight as a unit. The pack bond makes it easy, Ino added. We can sense each other's moves, adjust our timing, cover each other's weaknesses. You've created something special here, kid, Anko said. A real team. We're not just individuals anymore. We're stronger together. Female Godzilla appeared from the shadows where she'd been observing. This is what pack means. Individually formidable, together unstoppable. You've learned well. Naruto looked at the women around him, his pack, his team, his family. The finals are in a week. Let's show everyone what we can do. They spent the remaining week training intensively. Naruto perfected his Rasengan, learned to summon reliably, and developed combination techniques with his pack. The women pushed their new abilities to the limit, discovering synergies between their enhanced powers. By the time the finals arrived, they were ready. Naruto stood in the arena, looking up at the crowds. Somewhere in the stands, his pack watched through enhanced senses. Through the bond, he felt their confidence in him, their support. Niji Hyuga stood across from him, Byakugan already active. The loser, Niji said coldly. You should have stayed down. Destiny cannot be changed. Naruto grinned. Let me show you how wrong you are about destiny. The finals had begun, and the world was about to witness the power of the Titan's chosen alpha.